Let's start with some breathing. So we're gonna start facing down. Okay, whole body on the floor. So I have you guys all mute, but you can type the question there, or if you need, just unmute and we can go over that. Remember, there's gonna be more time afterwards. So facing down, use the hands as a little pillow. Think of the neck nice and long. And we're gonna focus here on the inhale. So you're gonna think of expansion as you inhale. You're gonna try to bring the air down to the pelvic floor, then into the midsection, but all around, and then around the rib cage, all around, 360. You can go and check on the community. I posted about that cylinder that I talked a little bit more the other day. So think of expanding the whole cylinder. For now, just let the exhale happen. Don't force the exhales. Let's do one more. And then let's transition slowly here to the forearms. Top of the feet in contact with the floor. Push down so the shoulders are slightly active. Keep the gaze in front of the hands. And let's do a couple breaths here. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release. Let's add looking up and looking down. So follow your eyes. Don't rush. Don't force. And then we're gonna go side to side. Try to keep the chin parallel to the floor. Wow. And then peek behind, over the shoulders without forcing. Just see how that feels. Excellent. Now bring the hands by the chest like this, elbows in, long neck. And you're gonna think of peeling the chest off the floor and then look forward and then rest. So make sure that you don't do it with the neck. Peel the chest, you engage the back muscles, and then you look. Rest. Now on this one, we're gonna peel, we're gonna look, and then we're gonna press. So we set the base. Hands and knees, look forward, gaze forward, tongue on the roof of the mouth. And we're gonna do a little bit of rock, okay? Start small, start slow, see how it feels. And then maybe we can go a little bit deeper. We're gonna start connecting to pulling forward from the arms when I want to go forward. Easy. Keep the breath. Very good. And then let's go for some circles. So still forward and back, but we go around. 2, 3 in one direction, and then we switch opposite direction. X. Now from this base position, we're gonna move the spine. We're gonna flex. Think of chin, shoulder blades away from each other, pelvis tucked in. And then reverse. So inhale, retraction, look up, sit bones up, and one more time. Flex, push, tucking chin, tucking pelvis, notice. And then one more. X. All right, from here, let's try to sit on the heels. If this is not there yet, you can place a blanket, a pillow in between here. And let's come to the forearms. The forearms pretty close to the knees. Try to sit back. Think of rounding that low back. Keep the gaze in between the hands/forearms. So I'm looking down. Think of protraction of the shoulder blade without over rounding the upper back. Think mostly rounding the low back. Shoulder blades in protraction. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. But now we're going to inhale. And we're going to think of expanding the back of the body. The low back in between the shoulder blades. So full inhale. And then slowly exhale to empty. When you go to empty, you're going to feel those muscles, the corset, you're going to keep them there, and then you're going to slowly inhale. So now we can send the air more into the back because the corset is holding the belly, right? See if you can do another 3, 4 of those. Get familiar. Make sure that you exhale fully so you can find those muscles. And then when you inhale, don't let the air just go into the belly. Keep a little bit of tension there and send the air into the low back in between the shoulder blades. When you finish with the 5 breaths, don't rush, but let's meet here on the hands and knees again. And we're gonna do a little more rocking. Excellent. Okay. Couple reps here. And then we are going to transition into our backs. Okay, and we're gonna do a breathing drill, but in this position now. So facing up, like this. I'm gonna bring the feet in contact with the floor, but I'm gonna try to bring them a little bit further from my hips, and I'm gonna make sure that they are hip width apart. So like pretty close to each other. Think of standing, okay? After you find that, we're gonna practice rolling the pelvis. So I'm gonna roll the pelvis forward. That's gonna create a lot of space between the low back and the floor. And then I'm gonna try to use my hamstring. So I'm gonna pull with the feet. So you're gonna drag the feet and see if with that the pelvis rolls back again. Try it again. Roll it forward, create a space, drag slightly. See if you can find them more neutral. You don't need to go full flat on the back. Do it again. Roll it forward. Drag. See if you can feel the hamstrings doing part of that work and deeper core muscles. After this one, when you find that, we're just going to hold there. And now we're going to practice the breath. Make sure that the upper back is nicely in contact with the floor. Here the pelvis now is neutral, so there's a tiny space on the low back, and the back of the head is in contact with the floor, so my gaze is straight to the ceiling. You can bring the arms to the side, and now we're gonna do 5 breaths here. So in the inhale, you're gonna expand the whole cylinder. Pelvic floor, midsection all around, rib cage all around. Think of staying kind of big on that rib cage, and then slowly is the key word, to empty. So boo, and you can do it through mouth. Boo, staying big. Now you're gonna find that corset. Yes? And we have a little bit of hamstrings. Now keep that, and now slowly inhale. But think of still bringing that air, some of that into the back, rib cage, expansion, and then exhale again, corset. Make sure that you keep the feet grounded, all 3 points, so you don't let the knees going out or the knees going in, okay? And see if you can start connecting upper hamstrings, core, and my breathing. Do another 2, 3 of those, okay? Inhale, expand. Remember, when we expand, try to bring it down to the pelvic floor. Midsection all around, rib cage all around. Try not to use the neck muscles to inhale. It's very common. And then on the exhale, slowly find the corset. Let's do one more. Excellent. Now you can relax. You can bring the legs long. Okay, go long with the legs if you have a space. If not, maybe rotate so you have a space. Then I want to know how this one go, right? After, let me know if you have any questions or if you are really feeling all of those things. Now, from here, now I'm going to bring the arms overhead. And we're just going to use this as a little assessment, okay? How that feels. To bring the arms overhead. Can I bring them all the way there? Do I need to flare the wrist or arch my back a lot or not? Do 1 or 2 breaths. Just notice. And then from there, we're going to do the log rolls. Some of you are very familiar with the log rolls. I'm going to do it from the arms. So I'm going to start with the left, Okay, I'm sorry, I'm having some issues here with the microphone. Bring the left arm, find the palm of your left hand, bring it down and across, lift the head, and see if with that you can roll. And then from here, you're gonna lift the arm, look at the back of the hand, and see if you can follow it. And with that, roll into your back. Let's do one more with the same arm, okay? Just notice how that goes. Try to minimize the cheating. Don't push with the legs and see how that goes. Follow the hand, roll to belly. After you do the second with the left arm, pause, and let's try. Good job. Let's try two with the right arm. See how it goes. Notice if you need to push, push, but just notice, okay? Use your eyes. Make sure that you lift the head down and across with the hand. Roll. Here, peel, follow the back of the hand, and try to bring yourself back. Go ahead and do one more. Good. After 2 and 2, don't rush, finish with those. We're gonna meet here on the base again. Let's see. Yes. So just notice, this is to start training the body to move together again. Upper body and lower body through the core in one of the most primal basic movement that we can do. That's how we start to move. Let's go to the base. Let's do a little bit of rocking. Well done. Easy. Here. And now we're going to start prepping for that quadruped breathing position. So we're going to make sure that the hands are shoulder width or a little bit wider. Okay? Give yourself a good base. The knees are hip width, only about a forearm away from the hand. So it's pretty compact. Now here, let's move the spine. One more time, flex and extend. And then try to find your neutral pelvis spine position. Then think of the shoulders toward the hips, so don't let them shrug. Check the position of the head, super important. Many times the head just drop like this. Think of bringing the chin in, long neck, reaching from the top of the head, getting long. Now let's move the shoulder blades. So bring them closer to the spine in retraction and then push away in protraction. Do one or two more. Try not to bend the elbows. And then we want to keep them in the protracted position. Very good, Cindy. Pushing away. Now remember, when we push away, we end up over rounding the upper back many times. So I want you to keep the protraction, but think of reaching down and forward with your chest without changing the shape of the neck, right? Now, keep that there and do a nice inhale and try to expand the whole cylinder. Slowly exhale, staying big, but exhale until you find that corset. Keep it there, and now slowly inhale, expand again. You're probably getting tired. Keep pushing the floor, staying in protraction, reaching down and forward. Now, keeping that alignment, we're going to think of sit bones up, sit bones down. So we're moving the pelvis to try to find a neutral position of the pelvis. So neutral position of the pelvis will be when you have the sit bones pointing straight back. So they're not up or down, they're straight back. See if you can find that position. That would be a neutral spine, pelvis, and shoulder position. Let's do one breath there. Inhale, expand. Try not to move anymore. When you find the position, then just breathe. Inhale, expand. Exhale, find the corsets. Keep thinking of protraction and reaching. Do one more breath. And then rest. Do a little bit of rocking, okay? Keep working on that one, even keeping the knees on the floor. Keep thinking of reaching down and forward while protracting. Remember, this is one of the ones that we're trying to change our posture, our alignment, and that takes time, and it's gonna start calling some muscles that are pretty weak, okay? So we need to start building. So let's try one more time. Try to find that position on your own, okay? Keep working, okay? And go by feeling. Find it. And after you find, we're gonna do this. You can either stay here on the floor, pushing, working it without lifting the knees for 5 breaths. Or if you have done it before and you know that you can do it without really changing the shape, tuck the toes under, set everything neutral, and when you find that corset, then just lift the knees 1 inch. And you do the breathing up here, okay? Either one, they're both good. You don't need to rush into lifting. Many times when we lift, that's when we lose that alignment. Perfect. Do 5 breaths. Notice, inhale, expand. Exhale, corset. Think of reaching slightly through that chest. Andy, if you can, keep reaching as you keep the protraction. But that posture is looking much better. Do maybe one more breath. That position is good, Cindy. Okay, you just need to build time and then rest. Well done. Excellent. Very good. That one it never gets easy, okay? But keep building there. Keep building time. And as you are there, remember, we exhale. You find the corset. When you inhale, don't just breathe into the belly and lose all of that. Keep some of that, okay? You guys want to do one more? Or many more? Well, let's start with one, and then we review, okay? One more. We're gonna do the bear walks, okay? So first, let's start by setting up the bear position. So we go hands and knees, like we just did, but we're gonna bring the hands slightly in front. Now we're gonna tuck the toes under, and we're gonna bring the hips up. But allow the knees to bend. Think of finding the ball of the feet, heels slightly out, head in between the arms. I'm looking at my feet. And before we start walking, I want you to think sit bones up, okay? Now we want the sit bones to point to the ceiling. Exhale, fully try to find that corset. And then from here, we're gonna make 6 steps forward if you have a space. If not, do 4, okay? Pushing from the ball of the feet so I can travel forward. After you finish your steps, then we're going to try to bring it back. Pushing from the hand, that's what initiates the motion. The goal is, can I keep the shape as I travel forward and then back, and then you can bring the knees down and do a little rock. Yes? Rock it out, do like 8, 10 reps, take a little breather. And if you can, and if you're willing, let's do one more. Okay, take a little break. Remember, the most important part here is set the shape the best that I can, the best that my body allows at the moment. And then as I keep the shape, then I start traveling. Very good. And if I can do it slow, even better. Okay, breathing, looking. Let's do another 6 forward. Now remember, going forward, I'm pushing from the ball of the foot on one side. That is what creates the motion. Now when I want to go backwards, now the push is from my upper body. Very good, Rob. Nice. Keeping the shape. When you go back, it's very easy to overstride. So make sure that the steps are small, and then we do some rocking. Well done. Good job. Excellent. Do a little rocking. Take a little breather here. Maybe exhale through mouth if you want. And then from here, let's go to standing. Finally, we made it to the standing. As you see, is an evolution, right? From breathing only, breathing and rolling, maybe holding ourselves in the quadruped position, and then maybe start our locomotion. Okay, we're reviewing how we learned to move. Now we finally make it to standing. So let's work for a moment on our standing posture or position. So let's try to go the same, hip width. So I'm thinking of these hip bones, and the feet are under there. So many times I see people standing very wide. So stay here under your hips. See if you can find that position. Now from here, let's lift the toes, lift them, and see if you can splay the toes and try to find the 3 points of support of the foot. The ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe, and then the heel. 3 points of support on both feet, then bring the toes down. Okay, so display them, bring them down. That should give you a good base. Now, movement becomes harder because now I don't have many points of reference with the floor. That's why standing is so much harder. Now it's only our feet there. Now, let's practice this. Hips forward, in front of us, hips behind of us. Do a couple of those. Forward, and just notice how that shifts the body weight on the feet. Here, the body weight is mostly on the forefoot. Here, the body weight is mostly on the heels. That's how powerful the hips are, or the pelvis. Now, try to find that pelvis right on top of your ankles. As I say this many times, we all tend mostly to stand like this, with the center of gravity shift forward. That already starts creating a lot of imbalances and compensations in the body. So try to bring this now, think of this hip bone on the side, right on top of your ankle. And if you look down, you can still see mostly of your feet. Yes? Very good. Now, make sure that the feet are hip width. I still see some wider stance. So make them right under your... Most people think that the hips are wider than they are, and most people think that the shoulders are more narrow than they really are. Okay, now lock out the knees. That's another very common compensation, just overstretching the knees or overextending. Keep them straight, but let them to be soft. You don't need to bend them, but keep them straight but soft. And now here we're gonna play with the pelvis. Butt in, butt out. Can you move the pelvis in isolation? Not the hips, just the pelvis. And if it doesn't happen, that's okay. We practice. Notice how far can you go in one position, how far can you go on the other position, and then try to find the neutral pelvis. Can you find the neutral pelvis? Keep it there. You may already feel a little bit of core activation there. Now, think of shoulder blades away from each other. Many times people think that good posture is retracting the shoulder blades, squeezing back, and overextending the spine like this. And that is not a good posture, okay? Relax the upper back, send the shoulder blades away. Don't over round, just like we did in the quadruped, right? A little protraction. Now, make sure that the head, the chin is in, and you are looking at the horizon. So we're reaching from the top of the head. After you find all of that, bring the arms to the side. Make sure that the thumbs are pointing forward. We don't want like this. We don't want internal rotation, right? This is super common too. So by the side, with the thumbs pointing forward. Yes? We got all of that? Even if it feels weird, just get familiar with that one. Now, let's do a nice inhale and expand from the pelvic floor, midsection rib cage. But don't think of this, right? Keep that rib cage on top of pelvis and expand. Think of staying a little bit big, and then slowly, slowly exhale to empty. But for real, empty. We always have more air. That posture looks great, Andy. Exhale, exhale. Brenna is getting much better too, all of you. Good job. After you find that corset, keep it there, keep some of it, and now inhale and try to expand the cylinder. No shots in the belly, okay? And we're gonna do another 2 like that. Okay, notice body weight, pelvis, rib cage, shoulder blades, head. Notice also how much body weight you have on one leg, on the other leg. Very good. Let's do one more. And some of you, I cannot see the whole body, so I cannot give a very good suggestion or feedback. Okay? See some parts, sometimes I can imagine the rest, and now shake it off. Okay? Excellent. But from what I see, those postures are looking much better. So now, posture. Can I find a better posture? Now, I need to train the muscles that hold that posture. That's why it's so easy to then just go to whatever posture we're using, because my body is really good at being here, or being here, or being here, right? So working on that. That's, of course, something that takes time to rebuild. But remember, posture is not just an static position. It's the starting point of everything that we do. So if that posture is off, everything that we're gonna do is gonna be already slightly off due that the posture was off, okay? You guys gonna do one more? You guys having fun? You want to see my face? No, it's okay. Well, why not? Here. All right, let's do one more. Now, we're going to find the same standing position, and then we're going to practice our hip hinge. So flexing at the hips only. Okay, we're moving at the hips. So first, what goes first? That's what I said. The posture is the starting point of all the movements. So first, do the best you can to finding this that we just practiced. Maybe do one breath. Now exhale. Find that corset. Keep some of that tension without losing that tension. Then start reaching back with the hips. The knees go slightly forward. The chin is in. I'm looking there, forward and down. And then pause. That's it. You don't need to go any further than this. Now push the foot onto the floor. Exhale fully. Exhale. Try to find the corset in this position. And when you're holding there, you're thinking of sit bone slightly up, ribs down, knees slightly forward without bringing the hips with me. Exhale fully. Find the corset. Sometimes pushing more onto the floor helps. Inhale, don't lose it. And then we're going to push down harder to extend the hips. So they go back to the active standing position. Okay? Take a breather and do uno más. Make sure that you set that active standing first. That position is going to influence your movement. So exhale, find the corset, start slowly, good. Stop there, Rob, don't go any lower, less than that, less. Now, exhale fully. I see the chest has some air. Exhale fully, 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 fully. Sometimes we forget how to really exhale. That looks great, Andy. Send the knees slightly forward and relax the neck. Relax the neck, knees slightly forward. Exhale. Do you guys feel good, Cindy? Send the knees slightly forward. Nice. Think of sit bones up, Brenna, slightly. Do you still feel your corset? Try to bring the knees slightly forward without bringing the hips with you. We're creating more distance between the knee and the hip. But exhale. You want to leave it too low with the upper body, Cindy. Okay, there. Now push all the way up. Excellent. Let's leave the heels. Leave the heels and let's bounce it off a little bit here. Well done. Nice and easy. These are the things that are super important for checking, right? And then so when you do the practice is good practice. Let's go to the floor. Let's do a little rocking. Well done. Very good. And these simple things takes a little bit of time to improve, but when they improve, they really start making a big difference, not just in this movement, in everything that we do. Let's go from here into our egg rolls. So on our back, wrap the legs, follow your eyes, and we roll to one side. When you finish, then you look back under the body. And then eyes, head, and body. Notice how much you need to push. It's okay to push, but we want to restore the body being able to follow our eyes. Okay, well, that's movement is, right? We look at something and then we want to go or escape from something. Now, let the whole body completely relax on the floor. We're going to take a little breather here. So just drop it. Forget about any tensions. See if you can close your eyes first. Don't force big breath. Let the breath naturally get smaller. As soon as you can, close the mouth. So we're only breathing through nose. And let's just watch your breath. The breath is going to get smaller. Leave it slower. Make sure that the hands and the feet are nice and relaxed. Same with your face muscles. Learning how to come back to a calmer state is also an important skill. If you can feel your heart beating, you can notice it. And then scan your own body and see if you are still holding some unnecessary tension. And let's go for another 3 final breath. With the next exhale, you can open your eyes. Thank you. Well done. That was our session for today.